Namaskar, my name is Amal Jacobson, and this is Anandamurti 101, a channel in which I explore the philosophy of Sri Sri Anandamurti and go through it step by step. Today I want to actually talk about meditation, because I think when most people hear the term meditation, they're thinking actually of a very particular kind of meditation called mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation, which is usually a secularized adaptation of a form of Buddhist meditation, is a very powerful and simple technique that I do myself, that I teach to others, but is not the kind of meditation that Anandamurti himself teaches. So I thought it would be worth exploring what is the kind of meditation that Anandamurti teaches, and at the very end, I could lead you through a very simple, basic meditation technique that Anandamurti taught himself. Meditation is not about emptying the mind of all thoughts. I dare you to try to empty your mind of all thoughts for even one single moment. It's impossible because the nature of the mind is it becomes like the objects that it is perceiving or thinking about. We spoke about this in previous videos of mine in which I was talking about the different portions of the mind in Anandamurti's philosophy. And I talked about how when you are watching a video like this, there is a portion of your mind that has to become the video in order for you to be able to understand what you are seeing. Anything you see, anything you touch, anything you smell, there is a portion of the mind that is almost like Play-Doh or silly putty, and it becomes the object of perception that you can understand when you touch a desk. Oh, that's a desk that I am touching. When you see your friend, that portion of the mind becomes the image of your friend so that you can see that it is your friend that you are seeing and not something else. Okay, and so that portion of the mind is called the chitta. And so the mind becomes like the objects that it is perceiving, becomes like the objects that it is concentrating on. Okay, and because of this, there are a couple of very simple maxims, I guess you could say, in the philosophy behind meditation. One of which would be, as you think, so you become. Buddha in the Dharmapada puts this another way. He says, you are what you think, having become what you thought. As you think, so you become actually talks about something that's unfortunately very common. You know, most of us can relate to the fact that you might have a voice in the back of your mind giving you this sort of negative self-talk all the time, saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do this. And that kind of thinking can sabotage you and keep you from reaching your highest potential. So this takes that same basic dynamic of the mind and uses it for your own advantage. It makes you liberate your narrow thinking so that you can achieve things that you might not have thought possible otherwise. Because whatever it is that you think about, your mind becomes like that which you are thinking about. As you think, so you become. You are what you think, having become what you thought. And to explain this a little bit more, I'm going to refer us back to some of the ideas that we were talking about in previous videos regarding the self and how that self comes to know itself through its expression of the mind. Now we will explore how meditation works, according to Anandamurti's philosophy. Remember, if any of these Sanskrit terms are confusing, you can refer back to earlier videos on this channel, in which we explore the meanings of some of these terms. Deep within the mind, hiding behind everything else, we find the Atman, the purest, deepest self. That singular consciousness is coming to know itself through every expression of the entire cosmos, and is coming to know itself through you. It is pure Purusha, consciousness, unbound by any of the functional aspects of Prakriti, the three gunas, Sattva guna, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna. As that I comes to know itself, it first creates a sense of existential awareness, a sense of I exist. This is called the Mahat in Sanskrit, and is a result of the influence of Sattva guna upon Purusha. But now that there is a sense of existence, there also arises a sense of doership, a sense of I
do. This is called the aham in Sanskrit and is a result of the influence of Rajaguna upon Purusha. This aham creates a sense of separateness. It gives your sense of self a feeling that it is different from others and that it has its own unique will. Now that you have that sense of will, you want to do some things and not other things. The mind therefore finds its final expression in the chitta, the part of the mind that becomes the objects of perception. This chitta is a result of the influence of tamaguna upon the mind. It allows you to interact with the world, to take in information and learn things and remember them. Knowing that a portion of the mind has to literally become the objects you perceive and think about, this helps us understand the concept of as you think, so you become. The more you think about something, the more powerfully it imprints upon your mind. Normally, the mind goes outwards, towards the material world that it interacts with. This allows you to receive information through the senses and helps you interact with others. The problem is that after the chitta constantly associates itself with the transitory nature of the world, we begin to lose touch with the deepest aspects of our own being. We begin to identify more with the superficial aspects of our identity, our color, race, nationality, creed, religion, and lose touch with the ground of being with which we all share in common. Therefore, in meditation, we move the mind inwards. Instead of using the chitta to focus on sensory information or negative self-talk, we concentrate our thinking on the deepest aspects of our own identity. By using different techniques like mantra repetition or visualization, we focus the chitta on the deepest self. We get more in touch with the deepest aspects of being and thus remind ourselves of the bonds we share with others. This process of meditation connects us with who we really are. Simultaneously, it helps us feel more connected to the entire universe we are a part of. As you think, so you become. Meditation is the process of seeking to withdraw our minds from the temporary world of the senses and move it inwards towards the unchanging self of the Atman, the pure Purusha hiding deep within the happenings of our own minds.
So now I'm going to lead you through a very basic meditation that Anandamurti taught himself. And it involves a mantra called Baba Nam Kevalam. 3 words. If you look that up on YouTube, you might actually find lots of different recordings of people singing that mantra in really beautiful melodies. So I would recommend doing that. Baba Nam Kevalam. Often it gets translated to mean love is all there is, but I would say that that's a huge simplification of what it actually means. So I'd like to be able to go through that because understanding the meaning of the mantra is the most important part in a mantra meditation, because of course that idea is what you are going to be meditating upon. Okay? So the first word, Baba. Baba comes from the Sanskrit term bapra, and it is a term of endearment. Okay, so what that means is it's something close to honey or sweetheart. It doesn't involve the name of a particular person. The most important part is that Baba points to a particular kind of relationship. And Bapra means that which is nearest or dearest to you. The entity that is nearest and dearest to you. And again, that term of endearment suggests an extreme kind of intimacy, a kind of domesticity, all right? That which is nearest and dearest to your own heart is, of course, that Atman, that purest I, which is deep within your heart, that deepest self that you are coming in contact with and trying to develop a relationship with. That is Baba, okay? But that Baba, that self that is expressing itself through the entire cosmos and coming to know itself through your unique form, that's a little bit of an abstract idea, okay? Often when you hear people talk about it these days, they'll say the universe wants this for me, the universe wants that for me, or people will talk about it in terms of an energy or a consciousness. And there's obviously nothing wrong with thinking about it that way, but it's difficult to think of that as the universe or an energy as something that you can have an extremely intimate relationship with. And so here, when we call that Baba, we're trying to enter into a relationship with something that you can call by a name. And that's the second word. Nam means name. The essence of something is its Nam. And so we're trying to get in touch with the Nam of that Baba. The essence of the nearest and dearest, the most essential relationship that you have is to that deepest self that is coming to know itself through you. And in your meditation, you are trying to develop a singularity of focus upon that. And that singular focus is denoted by the third word of that mantra, Kevalam. Kevalam means only that, and points to the single-mindedness with which you are trying to concentrate upon the Nam, upon the name or essence of that Baba, that nearest or dearest, most intimate of intimate relationships, that relationship with the deepest self. My relationship to that deepest self within me that expresses itself through the entirety of this universe, I am focusing all of my energy, all of my mind upon that. Baba Nam Kevalam. Okay? And so all you have to do is get yourself in a comfortable position in which your back is straight. Cross-legged is preferable, but if that's not comfortable for you, just sit in a chair and hold your back up straight. I like to fold my hands in my lap so that way I'm not constantly touching things, my desk or my legs. Fold my hands and I keep them just gently in my lap. Close your eyes and always start any meditation by starting with your breathing. The breath is the mediating point between the mind and the body. It's the gateway into your inner vista. Focus on your breathing. Slow it down, not artificially so, but just gently. And then once you've been concentrating on your breath for some time so that you begin to feel an inner space, an inner stillness, begin to repeat with each breath in and with each breath out, Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam on each breath in, Kevalam with each breath out. And I try to focus my mind upon a point as well. That helps me maintain my focus, maintain my concentration. I try to maintain my focus and concentration on this point between the eyebrows. And with each breath in, Baba Nam, each breath out, Kevalam. And what you're going to find is that your mind will wander. It will be difficult for you to maintain your focus. You'll start thinking about whether you're doing the meditation right. Okay, that's natural. And the beauty of a mantra meditation is when you find inevitably that your mind is wandering, you bring the mind back to the mantra, back to the breath, back to that point of concentration, back to the sound of the mantra, and then once you are in that flow, upon the idea behind the mantra. I am focusing all of my mind, all of my efforts upon trying to come in contact with that most dear and nearest of entities, the self that is coming to know itself through the expressions of this universe, that Baba, okay? And that Baba is all there is. Baba Nam Kevalam. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll enjoy this meditation. You can practice it every day if you like. It's a powerful meditation, even though it's a simple one. And please leave any feedback in the comments. I check those, I respond to them. Let me know if there's any particular aspect of Anandamurti's philosophy that you'd like me to explore in future videos, and I'll see you next time. Namaskar.